Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Thank you if you've been coming back for a while now, thank you for
The support.
doing that and being consistent supporters. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're still working on Spotify and Apple Podcast or Apple Music.
It shouldn't be as hard. I
We
think I'll,
keep saying that.
I'll look into it, maybe, inshallah.
But yeah, I hope you guys have been doing well. Hope you guys have been liking the content we've been posting. If you like something more than the other, or if you want to see anything specific, please do feel free to just message us, leave a comment, whatever.
Yeah, we want to see more engagement from you guys, because that was also one of the reasons we started this podcast. Was
To build a community.
like we want to start conversations that haven't been had before in our culture, community, and also B, to build this community of women supporting other women.
Yeah,
and creating that safe space.
Yeah, having conversations not just like that we need to or needed to have, but also like conversations that you guys need to have,
Exactly.
or need someone else to have, sort of a thing.
So if there's something that you guys want us to touch on, to address and talk about, please feel free to send in those recommendations.
Yes,
we're
or
looking
feedback.
Yeah, would love to know your feedback as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that being said, let's dive into today's episode.
Yeah, what is it about?
We're tuning in with our own bodies today. So we're talking about our cycle, the different phases of the cycle, how it affects us physically, emotionally, mentally, and also spiritually, for that matter. I don't know if a lot of women are aware of that.
Honestly, I am not at all. I am not a subject matter expert at this at all.
Yeah.
So I am listening into this conversation and kind of reflecting as you share it.
Yeah.
So I'm also really excited.
Yeah, I mean, myself as well. This was a whole new scope of knowledge for me, because for a lot of years I was on birth control pills and didn't really know much about the way our cycle works. I mean, all we knew about the cycle was, women get period once a month and that's about it, unfortunately. But ever since I think I got off of my birth control, which was only recently, I want to say 4 years ago, just before I got pregnant with Ciara.
And how long were you on birth control?
I was on birth control for a good 7 years. And then initially also, when I first got my period, which was in grade 6, they had put me on birth control to regulate my cycle for 6 months. I don't think I ever took birth control after those 6 months, until obviously I got married. And then initially I did take birth control as well before, having twins. And after the twins were born, I jumped right back into it. I think the reason also I jumped back into it is because my skin was very acne prone. So birth control, obviously,
it helped with that?
It helps with, acne, because it's masking all the hormonal effects that your body has, on your face and stuff too. So
when you got off it, did you feel like your acne came back?
I mean, it did. And also, to be fair, I didn't know much about skincare at that point in time. How to properly take care of your skin, your barrier support and stuff. So I think it was only around mid-20s when I really also started to take my skincare seriously.
Yeah.
So not gonna lie, it did help me a lot with, my breakouts, because every time I would break out, it would also leave a dark scar on my skin, which it still does. I do have PIH, which is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, I believe.
I did not even know that existed.
So I thought all these are just called acne scars, but apparently it's PIH, because as people of color, as brown girls, our skin produces a lot of melanin, which is what causes the pigment, right? And apparently it's a defense mechanism from our bodies, because every time you get a breakout, your body is preparing for defense and protecting it from all the damage. So hence the reason you get I get dark pigmentation. I don't know if you do. You probably do, but not as bad as I do.
My acne, I have minimal acne,
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't struggle with it as much because I would get like a one pimple, literally like one pimple here and there.
But do you scar like, or like do you get like
No, but
dark
you would also
spots?
pick your pimples.
I would, but no, even now, like if
But I don't scar. No, even if I do, I don't.
No, if I don't pick at it, it still leaves a mark on my face.
Oh, I thought it's because you pick at it.
No, even like I have like some breakouts here. I haven't been touching them, but I know it's gonna still leave a scar.
It doesn't leave a scar from me.
Again, the way my body produces melanin, I guess.
Wow.
You know, some bodies produce more, some bodies produce less. Hence, also the reason you guys should be investing into not just any sunscreen, but tinted sunscreen, especially if you have hyperpigmentation problem. But that really blocks off, you know, that UV radiation, because apparently tinted sunscreen, if you don't wear tinted sunscreen,
yeah,
it really worsens the hyperpigmentation.
What?
Yeah, because that blocks up the light from penetrating into the deeper layers of your skin.
I thought you wear tinted sunscreen because you don't want to wear foundation.
No. Again, like about the tinted sunscreen, like I only started wearing it
a few years
when
ago.
I got pregnant with Sarah.
Yeah.
And I learned more and more about it because, again, I'm prone to PIH. And a lot of doctors, dermatologists do recommend people with PIH wear tinted sunscreen.
Insane.
Especially if you are like people of color, you should be wearing tinted sunscreen because we do have melanin in our bodies.
I thought the only reason for that is to mask as a foundation, or
no. That's actually like protecting your skin.
I did not.
So apparently, like, if you don't wear that, and if you're still like using your actives and stuff, and like just going on without wearing a tinted sunscreen, it could still worsen your hyperpigmentation.
Wow.
But that's that. So yeah, coming back to birth control pills.
Yeah.
I was on them for like 7 years. And also, I had heard that once you get off of birth control pills, especially after you've been on them for like so long, it's hard to conceive. But alhamdulillah, in my case, it wasn't the story, because I did get off it. I did let my body regulate this time around for a good 3 cycles.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like I started trying for a baby. And that's when I think my algorithm again, TikTok, thanks to TikTok, I started learning more and more about the different phases of the cycle, how it affects you mentally, emotionally, physically. And then recently, I also figured out that it also has a big role to play in your spiritual health.
Yeah.
Which, now that I think about it, it all makes sense, you know, like, so starting off with the different phases, you know, obviously we have the...
Yeah, I didn't even know there are different phases until like a few years ago.
Yeah, same. Like all we knew was like
there's
women
a period,
go through period. Yeah, that's it. So we have the follicular phase. No, actually, let's start off with the menstrual phase, which again is your cycle period.
So what happens to your body when you're menstruating?
Yeah, essentially your body is releasing the egg that it has formed over those past 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, it's shedding all that lining, especially if you're not pregnant. It needs to release that. So it's shedding the lining and all the contents that are formed inside. So you go through that for like 5 to 7 on an average number of days. And then after that is your follicular days. Again, your egg is starting to form at that point, you know, another egg. And once you go through the follicular phase, you have the ovulation phase where, you know, you're like going through the peak of your cycle where the egg is now ready.
Oh my God.
And ovulation phase, obviously you're the happiest, you're the most chirpy, you know, you're in the mood. You're in the mood for everything. And then soon after the ovulation phase, you have your luteal phase.
Is that right before the menstrual?
Right before the menstrual cycle. Yeah, that's when you feel your crappiest. So me personally, obviously, like ovulation phase is the best. I think every woman would attest to that. And then the luteal phase, I noticed like I would get a lot more tired. You know, it would really affect my body physically. And then I noticed like in the past year or two, it would really also affect my spiritual health where, you know, I would find it really challenging to even just keep up with the basics, you know, like the 5 daily prayers, like just pushing myself really extra hard in those, like the week or 2 that lead up to the period, to, you know, do dhikr, to pray, to read Quran and stuff like that. Like, it's really hard for me during that cycle. I guess also because your body is physically going through it.
Yeah.
Hormonally inside, it's going through it. And then, it really affects how it shows up spiritually too.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get into the menstrual phase, Allah has given you a break, from praying something as monumental as Salah, which is
5
the first
pillars.
thing you're going to be questioned about also.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
As soon as you die, is like, that's the first thing you get questioned about. But even something that important, Allah has said, take a rest. He didn't even say you need to make up these salahs after like fasting.
Which you do have to make up.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
you
if you're like pregnant or like,
Yeah. But salah, you don't have to.
Growing up, we just heard that like you don't pray when you're on your period because it's impure.
It's impure.
But that comes from Hinduism. I think it doesn't come from Islam.
Yeah. It's a cultural thing. I don't. Yeah, pay mainly because again, the Hindu Muslim culture in India. I don't know how it is in like maybe Pakistan or somewhere, but
it travels in that continent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So a lot of movies that we see. I don't know if you guys have watched Padman. Have you watched Padman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie really highlights how the women are treated. Like I know, like Hindu women, for example, they're not even allowed to enter a kitchen when they're like on their period. I don't know if that's the case now, but like I know like in the villages and stuff, that's still the mentality that the woman is impure. Like you shouldn't go near her. The husband himself shouldn't go near her.
Yeah.
For that matter, and that's when the woman needs the most amount of support
and affection.
Like she really wants to be cuddled up. She wants to be taken care of in that phase of her cycle.
So why don't we have to like? Why is prayer exempt in that sense?
Because Allah Himself knows. Like obviously He has made us.
Yeah.
He knows what we're going through.
Yeah.
Physically. Like we don't stop and think for a second that. Like even this morning, I woke up like literally in a pool of blood.
Yeah.
And I just got on with my day. I showered, I got ready, and then here we are recording a podcast. But think about it for a second. Like if a man were to go through it, even the slightest bit of it, like they wouldn't be able to survive.
Yeah, they would just be in bed all day.
Okay, like bleeding for that amount of time, and that too, like the volume with which I think every woman is different when it comes to the volume, but still, especially the first 3 days are tough for any woman.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that you still have to carry on with your life, with the other chores, the responsibilities, you don't get a slack from anything or anyone, especially if you're a mother, you still have to keep grinding. But Allah realizes that, like she's not getting a break.
Oh my God.
She is not getting a break from anything or anyone. And so I'm going to give her that.
Yeah. I'm actually going to cry.
Like think about His mercy, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So yeah, the fact that He told the woman that, take this time to rest.
Yeah.
To rest and recover. And don't worry about praying namaz. Don't worry about, getting your 5 salahs in on time, because this is when your body just needs to be. And unfortunately, like majority of us can't even take that rest.
Yeah.
Like as much as I would love to just be a couch potato.
Yeah.
At least for the first 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And just do nothing but nap and like not have to worry about meals, not have to worry about catering to the kids. But we can't.
Like you not praying is also, it is worship because you're following the command of God.
Yeah. Yeah. We can still like do dhikr and stuff, which which we do. And we can still like recite Quran.
Yeah.
You can still make dua.
Yeah.
Like
you don't lose your connection to God.
Yeah, all these are acts of worship. Yeah, exactly. Like he hasn't said that a woman is impure.
Yeah.
And hence the reason she shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z.
And the reason like it's forbidden to do it while you're on your period, it's not because she's impure, it's because she's going through a lot.
Yeah.
So cut her some slack.
Yeah, exactly. And it's haram, I think, even.
Yeah.
To do it in that phase of your cycle. So
because in the Jahiliyyah, people don't give a shit about what women are going through.
Yeah. Like nobody stops to think for a second that, what is she going through? Like how is she dealing with everything that she's dealing with? while she's going through the worst time of the month.
That's actually insane because how God really takes it on himself to, just have a whole like ruling and everything against this to protect and like care for that woman because it's a problem.
It is, man. Like the more you think about it, the more you fall in love with with Allah, with the way He has made everything, It's so I've been finding it very fascinating, over the past few years about how He has designed the whole cycle for a woman, how it really affects you like physically, emotionally, mentally, and also like coming back to birth control pills for those 7 years, obviously like they mask your hormonal effect on the body. So I feel like I didn't really know who I was as a person.
Yeah. Your experience with birth control was different because you were on it for so long.
Exactly. I had numbed myself emotionally, I think.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do it myself. I think it was the pills having the effect on me.
Yeah, because I've heard that as well. Like when you're on it, you don't feel it.
And funny enough, yet, even though I was numb, people still label me as moody. It's crazy. Dude. Yeah, so I was numb, and now I feel like I'm so like attuned with what my body is going through. I have an app that keeps track of where I'm at with my cycle.
You have your ring.
And the ring. Actually, I had the Flow app before, which I was paying for. And then obviously now we have the ring, which keeps track of it. And I think it's so important for us women to learn about our cycles, because the more I learned about it, the more I know how I'm going to show up, for myself, for my kids at work in that part of the cycle.
Yeah.
Like I know exactly what my mood is going to be like. Like obviously it may shift here and there, but like there won't be like a major shift.
Yeah.
Like I'll kind of know like, this is how I'm going to be in this cycle, like on an average. Mm-hmm. And so I know how to cater and like when to step back.
You know what I feel like we're kind of missing out on is we know that the cycles, we know like, you are productive like in this cycle, like you're creative in this cycle, like we know what the cycles are, we know how your body's going to function, how your brain is going to function in these cycles, but we are not applying it to the work that we're investing ourselves into, whether it comes to like our jobs or just like passion projects or things here and there, because that really like, even like I'm not saying you can't do like a typical corporate or 9 to 5 or whatever, you can, but then the way I feel like we have, it's kind of a gift, the fact that your body goes through like these things over these cycles. We need to have a whole restructuring when it comes to how we show up or how we structure our work, our home life, our motherhood, our social gatherings, like to women's health. Like women's health needs to be in the center of how we do things, because that's the best way to achieve fulfillment, I feel.
Yeah.
Or like the results, the best results.
Yes. And speaking about that, also just like tuning into your bodies, right? Me, myself personally, I notice like during my follicular and ovulation phases where I really I enjoy recording content more and I want to talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I think in one of my TikToks, I did mention it, but that's my creative zone. That's my creative recording time. Like as much as I want to pick up the phone and record in my luteal phase too, it just doesn't happen.
See, if we were to know like, oh, this is coming up, like you plan ahead.
Yeah.
So like you already have a plan in place, like, oh, this is what I'm going, this is what my body's going through. This is the best time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you want to like work on a business or something, know this is your time. Block off that time in your calendar.
Oh my God, man.
Put in all that creative work. As women, we are built to nurture and to
build communities.
Yeah, exactly. And be creative, like our creative things really flow during that time of the month. And so hone in on that.
Wow.
I
feel like that's like we unlocked something there. We really did.
So if you are someone who was not aware of any of these things that we talked about today, let us know if this was beneficial. And if you
it was definitely beneficial for me. Like I learned a lot.
Yeah, even skincare. Like we do want to dedicate a whole episode to skincare only. Again, because I have gone through a lot of experiences myself and then learned a lot from it as a result of that. So we'll definitely do a lot more on that.
Yeah.
Especially in our like community with people of color.
Yes.
You know, acne prone skin, using the right products and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Well, this was
an informative episode.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at tinted sunscreen a whole different light now.
Yeah, it's not just for a cover up. It's actually doing a lot more than you think it is.
Wow. Wow.
So
thank you for that. Thank you for your service today.
Okay, but yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.